Rekordbox software now has 4 stems as of 7.2.8 that's just come out. And that means that you can separate the bass from the melodies in your tracks when you're using real-time stems in their software on Mac or Windows, which is pretty cool. So let's have a look at it. So this is an example of what you couldn't do before. You couldn't knock out the instruments, leaving the bass playing away there with the drums. And there's the bass on its own, which of course you won't be able to hear at all if you're watching on a tinny little phone, but trust me, it's there. And of course you could have the bass with the vocals now. I got the world to gain, never running again. Everything I lost, show me. Or you can take the bass out entirely from the track. Of course, any other combinations you like. So look, you just had to listen to them. They don't sound great even now. After all this time, Rekordbox stems are lagging behind in sound quality to some of the best ones in the market. But you now have at least the option to mess around with that. And I find that if you have the bass playing alongside the drums, they tend to sound all right. It's when you try and play on its own that it doesn't sound so good. Anyway, let me show you how you turn all of this on. So in your software, you're going to head up to the top and you're going to click the cog and you're going to go to extensions. Make sure you've got stems turned on. Make sure your computer's powerful enough. This is case whatever stems you're using. Then you're going to need to select 4 stems here. So you then definitely going to want to tick sound quality because as you just heard, they don't sound amazing even in this setting. And then down here, we've got some different ways of customizing them based upon the fact that you've selected 4, as you can see. So if you've got a unit which has got dedicated controls for stems, then that's where you're going to select that. Now on the screen, you have the stems controls here, which you can select from any version of the software, whatever controller you're using, by clicking on here, going on stems and using your mouse to control them. You can also use MIDI mapping to map it to controls on your unit if you have a unit that doesn't let you have control out of the box over the stems, and the way you do that is beyond the scope of this tutorial. However, I'll show you where to go if you want to mess around with it. Head into the MIDI mapping section, which you'll find here. You also will find, there it is, you also will find here this word pad. Now it's grayed out on here because you can't do it on this unit, but a lot of units from Alpha Theta, Pioneer, DJ, you can click on there and then it's really easy to reassign the stems to a pad mode on your unit. So do take a look at that as well. And finally on the screen, you can now also select very quickly the different stems you want here, and there's also a mute solo toggle there as well. And so you get lots of ways of controlling them on the screen and lots of ways of mapping them or using them on your controller depending on what you've got. But there you go. Alpha Theta Pioneer DJ has dropped the bass finally in Rekordbox 7.2.8. You'll have to update your software to see it. That's it then. Till next time, get good, get out there, make the moments. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.